Are you ready for some munchies or what? Who wants a piece of pie? And there's 10 pies on this table here. Check this out. Okay, as you saw, the numbers are there, so now it's time to divvy up the funds, so to speak. And let's keep in note, part of this is necessary because the political pigs. They're bought and paid for. That health care package would never have made it through if they would have read it. The stimulus package, for the Democrats to come back and say, well, we couldn't stop the bonuses to the bankers because we couldn't stop the bonuses to AIG because it wasn't in the legislation. That's just disingenuous. You know, they're the ones that put through the legislation. Matter of fact, they put it through in the middle of the night. They held about 300 pages out of it. The Republicans were throwing a fit on the floor over the whole thing, as the Democrats lied through their teeth, put it through, and then came back and said, oh, well, we can't do it. So, you know, we can't stop the bonuses. They should have thrown them people in jail. And through the acts of Providence, we're going to throw them in jail. But, in the meantime, political pigs, you made a lot of this necessary. We had to do the allocations up front. We had to use trickle-up economics. Otherwise, the districts would see the money, and the schools would never see money, kind of thing. Dollars stay put. That $59+ billion that law enforcement should be using to bust prostitution and all that, with the reality that only $4 billion is actually making it, there $4 to $5 billion. It just stays where it's at. We aren't even touching it. We're not playing with it. We're not trying to rock boats. We're trying to augment them. Now, we're going to need an implementation period. Just like any company, there's a rapid growth stage, and everybody's running around with their heads cut off like chickens trying to make it all run smooth. So this is going to happen in different increments. This is pie number 1, which we're going to stick with until we get through here. We'll see. Pie number 1, pop-in access fees, $7,234,800,000. This is the first 2 years. We want to get money into everybody's pockets possible so that they can get with the program. Okay, the pop's taking 20% off the top. Every time the pop takes a pop, well, almost every time, United States Department of Treasury is going to take a pop. They get 4% of whatever the pop takes. You paying attention to that, Mr. Secretary? I love this. I figured you'd like it. This way, Treasury is in charge. Like I said at the very beginning, all of it is tantamount to a one world currency. And I want to say this, I believe Secretary Geithner can show numbers better than this. Easy, all day long. The guy's a numbers cruncher. It's just his box goes one way, this goes another. Maybe he can think outside his box for a while. You know, Department of Justice, 5%. That's $361,740,000. Participating state police forces, this gets divided up, but you got $361,740,000. So you divide that by 50. What are you looking at? Participating local police departments, this is up to 15% at $1,085,220,000 per year. Remember that. That's per year for 2 years. And you know, once you divide that by 50 states and 1,000 communities in the state, it's not a very big number. But you guys know what your needs are. You know if you need lights for your cars or new tires or new radio equipment. Every little penny can help, right? Participating local health departments, 5%. Participating local medical facilities. And Health and Human Services. Health and Human Services, you are encouraged but not mandated to share with the CDC and the National Institute of Health. World Health Organization, I said it from the beginning, this is going to end up a one world currency. We're all on the same page. We're going global. The World Health Organization is going to start off with $72,388,000 to get going on it. The GO-ROAR, the Global Office of the Registry of Active Researches, takes 1% as well. These are the people. Each nation that's involved will have its own ROAR, which will forward information for statistical gathering more than anything else. You know how it is. They're numbers crunchers too. It might be crunching by disease, but they're still crunching numbers. So at a global level, they'll have this office. They'll be getting their act together. They'll be coordinating constantly with the WHO, and the WHO will have access to the Go Roar. So we're going to be able to take very careful note of any kind of medical trends going on the planet at any time. You know, if there's a sudden new avian flu breaking out, we want to know, and we're going to be there. The next AIDS, we're going to be there for it. Let's hope. Okay, the Go Pop takes 2%. The Go Pop is the global office of all this, and it's going to take time to implement, but eventually, as you'll see later on in different acts, basically there are those jet setters that can actually afford to get on their plane, go overseas, run, you know, maybe they're on vacation. It's a matter of making the various nations, this is why it's important, nations, that you follow the same protocol, so we get all the nations on the same page, so your people can come over here, we can go over there, smooth as ice. So the Go Pop is taking 2% off the top for 144,696,000. Once everybody's on the same page, you have global commerce, then we can look outside global commerce to literally intergalactic commerce. I want you to think about that phrase, intergalactic commerce. Department of Defense takes 1%, 72,348,000. There's actually 4% missing on this. I recrunch my numbers. If you see all the numbers, you get lost sometimes. This 4% that's missing up in here will be divided between the POP Physician Program and the Pat Tillman Memorial Scholarship Fund equally. Okay. Homeland Security takes 1% to get on the page with this. DSHS at each state divided equally among them, so 72,348,000. They each get a little over $1 million to get their computers, their access in order with the pop-in access. That access that they need anyways. They don't need a lot of access. We don't need perverts sitting behind their desk. This is for health care reporting once again and making sure everybody coordinates. EMTs, participating local fire departments, it brings us all down to Brent Dell. Many hats. Look at what you did to my brain. You made me spin and come up with all these numbers just to make sure the Loomis Fire Department of Loomis, Washington could get a little bit more money. Because, God, you needed it. 5%, $361,740,000 a year, split between the local fire departments. It's not a lot. The size of your tires, you might buy a tire. Maybe you buy some lug nuts or something. But it's something. And I'm trying for all of you out there. Firemen, who do they call when they, their kid's a broken leg, or there's a fire, or grandma had a seizure? They call you. Everybody, you should be applauding these people. Okay, 1%, $72,348,000 to each of the following. One of them is listed twice. Follow me. FEMA, Federal Bureau of Prisons, participating states, Department of Corrections. So you're looking at over $1 million per state there for Department of Corrections. U.S. Game and Fisheries will split it the first time around, or the first 2 years around, the Department of, or the Forestry Department. U.S. Parks and Recreation, participating state parks departments will split with their participating local parks departments. Just trickling up. Patriotic Adult Labor Services, we've got to fund these people. They're getting ready to go to work in a big way. TOTS, Tough on Teenage Screwballs, we're taking care of them kids. Money's trickling up for them. United States Marshal, DEA, United States Attorney General, United States Federal Court System, United States Advocate for the Defense, the participating state Supreme Courts, participating state attorney general's offices, participating states advocate for the defense. We need some balance in there. Participating municipal courts, participating local prosecutor's office, and participating local public defender's office. There's actually a double allocation for municipal courts, and I'm not going to mess with it because, let's face it, there's so many municipal courts, Lord knows they can use the money. United States Inspector General's office will be doing a lot of work with the IG. The IG is getting mega bucks because they're coming down everybody. Definitely. We're getting out armies of accountants for coming after you. The MAGOG, which is the Main Administration for the Gifts of God, which is equivalent to the Go Pop and the Go Roar. And then the Veterans Administration. Lord knows the VA needs some money as well.